live on YouTube, and we got Yogi Chris in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome to ACIM Gather. And I'm gonna just let you introduce yourself and tell us what you're all about. And this particular group, we right at this time we talk about modes of communication, ways that we can better communicate, and we have even have our own Yogi Brooklyn here. I think you probably know. Anyway, Yogi Chris, I'll just turn this mic over to you, my friend.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, Lynn. I met Lynn through another group, and I really enjoy her shares and all that. So I'm blessed to have known you. I'm blessed to be here. Thank you, Lynn. And yeah, my name is Chris Casanovas. I'm also known as Yogi Chris. Why a friend called me Yogi Chris because I'm still am a yoga instructor. Kundalini yoga is the type of yoga I've taught since 1997. So it's been 28 years. Um, really enjoy this form of yoga, really supports my spiritual path in a very big way. It's been my path, and I think Spirit, the Holy Spirit, brought me to that path because as soon as I realized it's the yoga of awareness, and I'm reading about the Course in Miracles, and at the time I was in a 12-step program, and I hear that word awareness. It was so much a part of how my spiritual experience at the time, and it really resonated with me. I met a dear friend, Guru Arav, through a specific group, and we became best of friends. And he used to teach Kundalini yoga in India. So he taught me the ways, and it's just a fantastic modality of healing, modality of um, helping the person become more aware as you practice. It's different mantras, breathing exercise. It's a form of movement meditation. Uh, I have enjoyed it immensely throughout the years. Right now, I'm in the development of a website where the classes are there. I'm going to have it as a love offering. So anyone could go in there and download the instructional videos. I have intermediate, beginners, and advanced. And I will be available via Zoom on a weekly basis to support whoever's taking the courses. Someone suggested to charge $95 per class. And I said, no, I'm just going to offer it as a love offering. And I have a virtual assistant coming in and fixing that. So it'll be part of my contribution to many through the internet, whoever's looking for that healing experience through Kundalini yoga. Uh, part of part of its benefit is to strengthen the body because of its exercise movement. It's very simple. Um, Having a calm and non-reactive experience, because that's what is practiced during the yoga sessions, and how to develop awareness of the energy centers within the body, from the first chakra to the seventh chakra, and what those chakras are, and how you could tell it needs healing based on how it feels as you learn about them. And of course, it really helps in the flexibility of the mind and the body because of certain exercises. And it really um, fixes the left and right hemisphere, not fixes, but aligns it together to work harmoniously together. The left and right hemisphere of the brain. The right hemisphere is very analytical. The left hemisphere is very creative, spiritual, and how to align those two aspects of the mind together. I really enjoy teaching it. I've had many students throughout the years. I've taught at Circles of Wisdom in Andover. Kathy owns that. They've moved since that time. In Spirit of Sedona in Salisbury, Massachusetts, and other centers. And I've done yoga retreats. I'm in the process of speaking to someone who owns a beautiful space in Alton Bay, New Hampshire, where Lake Winnipesaukee is. And I'm going to be doing a retreat with her. So how does it serve me in communication and communicating with others? Is it serves me by creating a space within myself of awareness. As someone is sharing with me, I automatically go right into my breath, observe my breath, and really be present with someone who's sharing. It's a practice where, again, I'm being fully present with someone without, and of course, I'm watching for judgments in my mind and interruptions, things like that, or the need to fix the person or advise them or control the outcome. I'm just meditating on what they're saying and putting my complete focus on them. So as I'm practicing that, because of the energetic space that provides within me and without, because it radiates outward, it provides a calm, grounded, and attentive presence as I coach and mentor. It helps me listen very deeply, not just to their words, but to the emotion, the space between words. And I'm just creating a space to see what spirit says to me. But I'm not planning what to say. I'm just providing that space. It honors whoever is experiencing what they're experiencing, allowing them to feel what they feel at their own pace and be exactly where they're at. And that's very healing when you hear listening to someone and providing that kind of space. And of course, because I'm very present, the mind is slowing down because of the breath. The breath is very powerful in Kundalini yoga. I'm suspending within my mind judgment. I'm suspending, evaluating, comparing, diminishing their story in any way. I'm just a space where they could be exactly where they're at. Because that's such a beautiful thing to offer someone, especially when they're needing that space. And I avoid taking over and try to watch for any urge to problem solve or make it about me when I share. All these things providing a space, a meditative space. As we know in many teachings, especially the 12 steps, there's an 11th step that says we make conscious contact during meditation and prayer. Well, it's not just on my knees, is creating that space while someone is speaking, creating that space as I'm making lunch. Many call that mindfulness, where you're aware what's going on within yourself as you drive a car, cook something. Well, it's a beautiful gift to give to someone who's speaking to you and in your presence. So it really creates an energy of safety. That's also important, especially if that person is struggling emotionally or energetically. And, when you're providing that kind of an aura, that kind of a space, they feel safe. There's a feeling of safety as you're with them. Um, so I've used it quite a bit. I've been facilitating groups since 2000, so it's been 25 years. I currently help facilitate a self-actualization group every Tuesday. And I've been helpful in facilitating other Course in Miracles groups where my friends need a facilitator. They're on vacation, need to take a day off. I've facilitated groups on A Course in Miracles and A Course of Love. With me, the practice of the Course in Miracles been since 1993, and A Course of Love since 2010. Yeah, 2010. So it's been 15 years. So that's a little bit about me. I'll take some questions or any comments
Uh,
about that.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, you know what? You were just ringing my bell. Every single thing you were saying was just absolutely so clear. That the whole, practice of just taking a moment, taking a breath, clearing myself out, uh, listening with the whole heart, listening without judgment, without any sort of uh, trying to figure things out or do anything. Uh, no diagnosis going on. Really, I mean, that is, that's the heart of, so many great communication programs, including nonviolent communication, which is something I'm really
Yeah.
a proponent of. And I'm just hearing you say these things, and it's like, wow, yoga is way much more than uh, bending and twisting and sitting and standing in different positions. There is a lot more to it. And, um, I don't know if I'm sure other people have questions or comments. So please, put your hand up if you'd like to say anything or ask any questions of Chris.
My cat is here next to me. You'll see him on the screen eventually.
Oh, yeah. Well, and all I was going to say, I guess that you must be doing well for yourself because you're living in a palatial mansion there. As
Uh, it looks real, doesn't it?
I would think it was real, but I don't know anybody who lives in a house like that. So, but maybe I do, and I don't know. So, but, anyway, does anybody have any questions or Karen? Yes, please
Sure.
go ahead.
Hi, thank you for sharing everything you just shared. Can you explain to me what Kundalini Yoga is? Because I'm not really familiar with it.
Okay, thank you. Very good question. It's one of the oldest forms of yoga, and part of its ways of healing incorporate breath work, how to
Mhm.
use the breath to free stuck energies within the chakra system. Chakras are energy centers. There's 7 of them within the energy field.
Mhm.
And certain mantras are vibrations,
Mhm.
words utilized that have a specific tone and vibration that helps free the chakra of
Mhm.
any stuck energies within it, and also certain movements that help heal the chakras from the first, which is the energy of grounding, anchoring, um, to the second, which is the energy of emotions, to the third. Each one in my classes, I provide 3 exercise minimal to really heal that center. Because as the Course says, it's in removing the obstacles to the awareness of love present. Well, those obstacles are within. And each energy center presents consciousness in the mind. Okay? So as you're healing these energy centers, you're freeing yourself. It's very freeing. On top of that, of course, you're developing awareness where you're observing the energy centers, the inner energy field of the body, and you could tell when a reaction is happening within the energy centers. That's how you could tell you need to, a person needs to work on that specific chakra. Okay. It was brought to the United States back in 1969 by Yogi Bhajan. It's been passed on from teacher to disciple, and they would evaluate if that student is ready for Kundalini yoga because it's so pure. They want it to know that it's going into good hands. Okay. What else I could share with you about that? That's
So
the general. Yeah.
So you mix the breathing and the meditation with the movements.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
So
beautiful.
an
Yeah.
example, if I move my hand outward, I'm doing the outward breath. If I move my hand inward, I'm doing an inward breath. So each chakra, you align movement with your breath.
Okay.
How that serves is you're bringing your total attention in the present moment and being able to feel what that chakra feels like in that movement.
Beautiful.
Many similar moving meditation like Qigong, Tai Chi is basically what I'm speaking about.
Okay.
It's aligning movement with breath. Okay, but it gets deeper than that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
you're
that's
welcome.
beautiful.
You're welcome. I see a hand up. I see Mikhail.
Haley, yeah.
Hi,
Hi.
Mikhail.
I just wanted to tell you thank you. I love how you talked about non-judgment
Yeah.
and just kind of then letting, a person be without judging them. And I just really love that. And it made me think about being a parent, because our kids get so defensive because they think all the time that we're judging them. And I just was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that non-judgment part you were talking about at the beginning. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Because of our conditioning that's had happened in the past, whether we've incorporated in school, incorporated in through our parents, through our friends, through TV, you start to judge whether good or bad, whether because everything is in polarities. So one of the things that Kundalini Yoga does, it develops your ability to see the reactions, because when you're in judgment, there's going to be a reaction within yourself, and there's going to be a past that's being activated, and that energy is from a chakra. So what I teach is the ability to be aware of these judgments that we have through our energy, because our energy it's become conditioned, so it feeds the thoughts. But once you are aware that a judgment is coming up, you could step back within yourself, look at them with acceptance, and allow that judgment to pass. And you get good at it with practicing this kind of discipline. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. I love it. Thank you so much.
And children, we could teach them how to breathe. Not too many, no schools actually teach a child. One of the most powerful things you could teach a child is how to breathe, how to bring ourselves in the moment and release anger, anxiety through the breath. Just that is very powerful. Okay. I
That
see
was awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Chris. Yeah, please go ahead. Lynn, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Yes, I got to. The words are so small.
Stay mighty companions. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're
I
welcome.
remember my Kundalini classes. And the 12 steps are a perfect match for the course. Yeah, and step 11, step 3, and step 12. Step
Correct.
12. Yeah, when my shift first happened, I was talking with some people in the rooms, and they said, well, it's step 12. Oh, okay, okay. I appreciate, I'm so grateful for all of us. I just have a question.
Sure.
I don't give anything to the mind. I try not to, it drives me crazy. But I've heard that some Kundalini awakenings aren't very good for people who aren't ready for them.
Mm, good point. Um, One of the things that I do is through the beginner's course, I make it step by step, understandable, explain what's happening within the inner energy field of the body, especially the rising of the vibration of Kundalini energy, of Mother Kundalini. So I help the student be aware when I do my presentation what's going on. When a person doesn't know these things and they start practicing without just doing different Kundalini work without knowing that this is happening, it could feel scary because there's certain energies as they're being released or the obstacles are being released. They could feel some confusion, and that's part of it, lightheadedness, different things like that. Very natural, but if you're not too sure what's going on, it could be, oh my God, I got to go see my doctor. Something's not right here. But it's not. It's who is it? Michael Murdoch says, I'm not crazy, I'm just waking up. Why did he write a book like that? Because there are certain experiences that you're going to experience within yourself, and you're really not going crazy. I remember when I first got into someone mentioned the 12 steps. Stuff was coming up for me as I was meditating, as I was doing things. If I didn't have a sponsor, it wouldn't have been that easy for me. So even in the 12 steps, there's someone, a mentor, a sponsor. And many of these spiritual paths have someone that supports, oversees others in their unique expression of spirituality. So it's not unsafe to practice this. You're not going to bounce around or do different things when you're practicing it.
Well, it's kind of like when some people take LSD and they're not ready for the awakening. Yeah,
Correct.
we have
Correct.
your way is the best, definitely. Learn, be aware. Like
Yes.
you said. Thank you.
And there are specialists that could use these psychedelics and guide someone in the proper use of it. But if you're just taking LSD and well, who was it that reminds me of Ram Dass and many others who experimented with psychedelics. So yes, that's a very valid point. And you mentioned the 12 steps. The 10th step is continue to take a personal inventory, and you make a mistake, promptly admit it. Well, what's this taking of inventory? Awareness. When you're aware that this is happening, this is how you mend that. It's all part of that. Step 11, sought through prayer and meditation, and makes conscious contact with God, praying for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry it on. That's meditation and prayer, part of Kundalini yoga. This is part of my step 12, serving, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of this form of healing, this spiritual path. Now I want to take it and serve others and practice it in all my affairs, all my encounters. So the 12 step is all over this. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Brooklyn. Go ahead, Rafi.
Yeah, all of this is just getting me back to the central point that everything is working toward our ultimate good. Everything. I mean, all the things that you talked about. Yoga is very spiritual. You can only be now in yoga. You can't be, there's no past or future in yoga. You cannot be you cannot be out of acceptance. You have to be, you can't be in resistance while you're doing yoga. You can't be in resistance while you're getting a hold of negative feelings and thoughts and releasing them. You can't be, you have to be now. And you have to be in acceptance. Very high energies. There's no, did you ever know anybody was doing yoga that was disapproving of anybody or themselves while they were doing it? Of course, that's not possible. So no matter, and the 12 steps. Did you ever see anybody get into them and say, wait a minute, this is all bullshit? I ain't never. Okay. It's so wonderful how all of this works toward our ultimate good. And the exercises or the various paths that we choose to work toward our ultimate reason for being here in the first place, our awakening, or however you want to decide, designate it. There's no way, any way you look, it's helping us. I mean, if you look at Course in Miracles, if you look at the release technique, if you look at Ho'oponopono, if you look at inquiry, if you look at yoga, it's all working together. So there's that divine power that's there working with us every step of the way. All we got to do is get out of the way and let it happen. Woo, thank you.
Woo, thank you. That was great. I appreciate that. All those spiritual paths I've encountered. I haven't shared with the group. I'm the vice president of the board of Pure Presence Productions and the Awakening Mind, the Awakening Center for Awakening. And we just put out a movie on YouTube called The Awakening Mind Liberation, the third out of 3. And you shared what I believe is Advaita Vedanta, where you're observing the duality and undoing that through awareness and the practice of awareness. So it's just a beautiful Ho'oponopono. Oh my goodness, I love that practice. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And forgive me. So those are wonderful ways to incorporate what the awareness that you learned through Kundalini yoga and apply Ho'oponopono on it as you witness the energy. And
every single one of those things does one thing, continues to quiet the mind so that we can see what's beyond.
Yes.
That's perfect.
That's a beautiful teaching. Hugh Lin, and who was it? Joe Vitale wrote the book Zero Limits. and brought Ho'oponopono to the public. Amazing story, this Hugh Lin and what he did. All right. Who's next?
See, Mickey has her hand up.
There we go. Hi. Thank you so much. I just watched that third installment of the Awakening movies the other day.
Good.
It was very trippy. I actually had uh, a felt experience while I was watching it. Just the calmness, that came over me was really pretty good. Anyway, you mentioned a phrase before that intrigued me. You said Mother Kundalini.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you could talk about that a little bit more.
Okay. I paused to see what I could share because I'm picking up the energy of the group and want to present it in a form that's helpful. There's a song, I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. So in all aspects of life, there's a feminine energy and a masculine energy. Okay. So when I speak about Mother Kundalini arising, that's the energy of Mother Earth, if you may call it. And one of the things that happens is that energy goes up the spinal column, the energy cord of the body, which Paramahansa Yogananda spoke often about, and it starts to awaken within ourselves. Mother Kundalini. Okay? So that energy starts to heal, when you think of spirituality, also you think of energy vibrating at a certain frequency. The universe vibrates at a certain frequency. So as that frequency gets the blocks removed from that frequency, Mother Kundalini will arise, that Kundalini energy, meet at the third eye, or the pineal gland will be activated, and it will connect with Source, the higher power, God, the Father aspect of loving energy. And that's where it completely gets activated. So do we have feminine energy? Yes, the energy of care, compassion, love, kindness, tenderness, all mother energies. Does all that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
I see a heart from Rafi. Hi, Rafi.
That is beautiful. And I did put Chris's website in the chat. So if y'all want to go check it out, see all the different things that he has going on, quite a bit of stuff. And I'm appreciating this so much. It's just fun to see and hear. Let's see. All right, I'm flipping out here because my Zoom on my other computer is going out on me. So I'm just gonna mute my mic for a minute and let somebody else say something. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share, or questions or experiences? We talk about this Kundalini. I hear a lot of times people will say, what was it? They didn't even know anything was going on. They were just having a regular life, and all of a sudden they had this Kundalini experience.
Yes.
And it freaked them out. And I think that's kind of maybe what Mickey was talking about, but it's something that is unasked for, and unwelcome, apparently, to people. And I'm wondering, is that something that really happens? And if it is, what can you say about it?
Yes, yes. Um, when you're ready to say yes to that higher power, that God, that divine intelligence within us, it will give us a signal. And the signal isn't our regular experience. You could call it a calling, um, a desire for the soul to awaken. So it's nothing to be afraid about. Um, I've had my own experience, and it has helped me in discovering more within about what's happening within, because there's going to be signals, there's going to be um, inner messages to go within. And sometimes when you become more aware of what's going on within the energy field of the body, that feeling has been there all along, but you're becoming more aware of it. And yet, does it feel different? Yeah, but we've been unconscious to what's going on within. So the more conscious and aware you are, these energies that happen within, you're going to really notice it. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so if you've been ignoring those prompts, uh, it don't matter because it's happening with or without your that's what it seems like.
Yes.
These people that say this thing happened to them, they're like, without my permission, I did not ask for it, I did not want it, and then next thing you know, I was having this experience, and I just, there must have been at some point some communication.
Yes.
uh,
As,
Maybe they just didn't recognize it, or were ignoring it. So
sure.
interesting, very interesting. Uh,
As Helen Schuckman said, and Bill Thetford, after experiencing what they were experiencing, all they said was, there must be another way. And we know what kind of dreams Helen Schuckman had, what kind of feelings within herself, the inner dictation. We might not be aware when we say something like that in our lives, but spirit knows. Okay.
yeah.
Make sense?
That makes a lot of sense, Chris. Yeah. So let's see. Rafi has his hand up, and then Marianne. So go ahead, Rafi.
Uh, when I first had an awakening experience, and I've had several, fortunately, over time, it hit me that the reason why there was so much fear and upset was that the ego mind has no reference for it, has no idea what that is. It can't possibly know because it's a recording and playback machine. How could it pop? It's like asking a microwave, do you know what the Milky Way is? You know, um, and as soon as it happened, I realized that all the fear that came up was groundless. It was just coming up from, I don't know what this is, and am I going to die? So I got a whole big, thanks to the release technique in the Sedona method, I got a hold of the feelings, allowed them to be there, and then just let them go, and just basked and reveled in that awakening experience for however long it lasted. And every time I go through it, it lasts a little longer. And I don't even know how to explain what a little longer means, but because there's no more giving in to the fear of the ego mind, having no reference for it, and then being scared it's going to disappear. Well, what are we talking about here? Okay, the reality or something that is a concept that we made up, and in fact, this morning I had such a revelation of just being the pure joy of being that lasted, I don't know, maybe a half hour or something like that. And it seemed, not seemed, it did. It was perfectly natural. There was no more of that other stuff. That stuff is disciplined. It can't fight me anymore. And or it can't fight itself anymore. It can't fight anymore because it has nothing to fight, and it's not real. The reality is way stronger than something that is conceptual. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, the ego doesn't have an experience of the awakening. It's beyond the ego. I love what you just shared. And it can only interpret it based on that experience. So, is the light scary to the darkness? Yeah. It happens. It's part of, that's why in the Course in Miracles, that's why in Kundalini Yoga and the teaching of that is step by step. Have you ever been in the dark and turned on the bright light? Your eyes can't get used to it. And if someone has always lived in darkness in a cellar, you bring them outside in the light, they'll be scared to death. I had a cat that it was a house cat. And when I opened the door to nature, it wouldn't go out there. It was so afraid to step into the nature. And this is a cat. I think there's a very gentle higher power, very gentle energy that knows this, and it'll take you exactly where you're at now in a very beautiful path. Marianne?
Hello, Chris. Thank you so much. So nice getting to know you. Part of my experience is working with the Holy Spirit, and I feel things in my body ready to move through. And so I dialogue, which I know are unconscious. For instance, I'll feel certain feelings in my solar plexus area, or my throat, or my hip, or doesn't matter. But I was curious, part of the inner guidance is that we can move spontaneously. There's a spontaneous yoga that we can use. I'm sort of curious about, for instance, how you would work with a specific energy center, which was indicating that it was moving through within the context of Kundalini yoga. And then on the other hand, do you have any experience with people moving spontaneously with movement and sound, working through those energy blocks? Thank you.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Yes, for example, the second energy center contains the energy of emotions. So, for example, if we have suppressed our emotions and we're not observing the feelings and communicating them and suppressing them, that energy center needs healing. Or if someone is highly emotional and just spewing out anger or whatever, those call for love. It's two ends of the spectrum in that energy center. And part of healing it is balancing both hemisphere of emotions and finding what the Buddha calls the middle way, and where we could tap into our feelings at any point. We know what they feel like, we've experienced it, and communicate it effectively, or we could observe it, breathe into it, and choose to take a more analytical approach. So part of doing that is noticing the energies in that chakra and how it manifests through its qualities, its correspondence. So again, second chakra is the chakra of emotions. Some people are non-emotional. In relationship, for example, if we're into our emotions, we'll find someone that has the other side of that to find balance. Someone who's more analytical and all that, and that. The hugger marrying the person that doesn't hug. And woman's search for balance is so important, because if we don't balance it within, we import it from a relationship. Okay. So part of healing energy centers help heal your partners or whoever it is that you're with, because that's what the energy of light through a chakra does. In terms of spontaneous, yes, like there has been spontaneous awakenings. There's many spiritual teachers that have had that. The first person that comes to mind is Eckhart Tolle. In his powerful book, The Power of Now, he speaks about that kind of awakening he had. Yes, there are spontaneous awakenings of energy centers. Yes. But the majority, we have to serve their release and their healing. Okay. Does that make sense?
It does. And yet I was thinking more specific, say, of working with a specific energy center, like how would you, with the second one, and I assume you mean the energy center that's below the navel,
Correct.
in the body.
Correct.
How would you work with motion to heal that center and sound?
Correct. There are certain movements that align with the breath, certain mantras that heal that area. There are a simple one is just doing circles with your lower area and breathing in as your movement goes forward and breathing out. There are different exercises where you're bringing that chakra up as you're breathing in a lying position, bringing it up and you're bringing it down, and that stimulates that chakra. There's certain sounds. There's the one mantra is Rama da sa se so hung. When you say the vibration, the mantra of ma, Rama, that's the second chakra. And that energy that is emanated by your voice heals that chakra. And you're also touching meridian points at the roof of your mouth that heals and stimulates that chakra. So there's a lot of association with energy and mantras and certain movements. Okay.
Okay.
And in my website, I share what they are in those classes and how to use proper techniques. I step by step share with you how to breathe, how to move, what you're feeling for, all that heals that second chakra. Yes, right below the navel point. And
Okay.
that's where we should breathe from. If you look at babies, they breathe from their abdomen, from their second chakra.
Yes.
Okay. So just doing that is very powerful. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Fascinating.
It is. It's great. It works. There's hi Dub, how are you?
Hey Chris, I was
How's
just
it going?
saying I was just saying thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
so it sounds like, I mean, there's some really good work, and this is just not a modality that, this group has, I mean, that was something we haven't heard of, obviously, but it's something that might be really helpful for us. And I'm glad you came, and I really got glad, you've got a very nice website, by the way. I was very impressed.
thank you. Thank you.
How well that's set up. So yeah. So
Appreciate it.
yes. Anything else you want to say to us here? And any other questions? Oh, Rico has his hand up. Go ahead, Rico.
Good evening, family, friends. Thank you for letting me be here with you. I send you love and life, my heart to yours. Chris, thank you so much. But you wouldn't be complete without a dummy in the room. So let me ask you a dumb question. How do you breathe from your abdomen as opposed to regular breathing?
Okay, it's a very deep question. That question would produce wisdom-filled feedback, so it's not, I wouldn't consider dumb. And learning how to breathe. When you take a deep breath, conscious breathing, you feel the air and you feel the energy go all the way down to the second chakra. And when I teach this form of breathing, I have the student be aware as the breath is going into that second chakra, going up to the third, fourth, almost to the fifth in a complete deep breath. It's 4 seconds long. I have them pause and then exhale a 4-second breath. But I have them very consciously do that breath and focus on their second chakra to make sure it comes out as they're breathing. Okay? That kind of practice breathing, what it does, it slows down your thoughts. Okay? Because the breath, it correlates with the mind in a very big way. It starts to slow down the breath, create more space between thoughts, and puts you in a more intuitive type of energy within yourself. Okay? So deep breathing, especially when it's done consciously, is very powerful. Okay? So yeah, that's the simple answer, is to really be conscious and to breathe from that lower chakra and let from that lower chakra fill the chakras up as you breathe and exhale, and very consciously.
Is
And
that breath just on the inhale, or it's on the inhale and the exhale?
inhale and exhale. So you're inhaling, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I start with a pause after the inhale, pause, 4, exhale, 4. Then when you get used to that, we'll do a 4-point breathing technique where you're inhaling for 4, pausing for 4, exhaling for 4, then pausing for 4. What that does, it activates the 6th chakra, which is the chakra of inner vision, what they call Christ vision.
Okay.
So as you're breathing slow into that area, into that pineal gland, it activates that gland, and helps in receiving signals, let's just say. Okay. So it's very related to our glandular system, our muscular system, but the most powerful system you're working with is your glandular system, especially that pineal gland, which is located behind the third eye here in the center of your brain.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, breathing is the most powerful.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll have to drop in and find out a little more.
I would love that.
Absolutely.
And keep those wisdom-filled questions going.
Love this. Yeah, this is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Chris. Does anybody else have anything? I know we got started a little bit late, so we might take a couple extra minutes if anybody else has any questions or comments that they'd like to bring with Chris, and I will put his information on the YouTube so that if you're watching this, you know how to get a hold of him, and I won't put your phone number in, but I'll put your website and your email so people can know how to get to your website and how to join you. So anybody have anything else they'd like to share before we close out? Yeah, Brooklyn.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I love fire breath.
Oh,
Could
breath
you?
of fire, yes.
Oh yeah, that's great. Could you go more into that?
Okay. Breath of fire is a continuous breath that, if anything, activates intuition. It's the most powerful breath in Kundalini yoga. It's called breath of fire. Why? Because it balances the hemisphere. It activates all the chakras. It helps center you. It releases energy through the breath of fire. So it's very powerful. Plus, one thing that the brain and the body does, if you do a breath of fire, the longer you do it is great. And the brain picks up that you're taking only one breath. Now, 6 breaths a minute activates intuition. Can you imagine 1 breath a minute in breath of fire? Okay, so it's a very powerful breath, and I'll demonstrate it quickly. I'm not stopping. I'm taking 2 breaths a second, and I'm continuously moving. And where is it? I'm breathing from my second chakra, and it's an amazing breath, powerful breath. It's the most powerful breath in Kundalini yoga.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there's Kalabati breathing, but that's different. That's different modality. Kalabati, that's slower and
Yes.
be more air out.
I'm trying to see if I'm not too familiar with that type of breath. There's many types of yogic breath and breath work.
Breath
But
is a
yeah,
wonderful thing.
yes. Another one is the alternate nostril, where you're breathing in through one nostril, block this one, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. What does that do? It purifies the blood. It brings in energy of source, but it breathes out that isn't serving you through that exercise. It's like fetal circulation in the womb. The mother provides, in the umbilical cord, it provides a vein and an artery. An artery brings oxygen-rich nutrients, blood, to the baby, but the vein dispels what doesn't serve the baby, waste products and things like that. In Kundalini yoga, the breath does the same thing. It brings good energy to your chakras, and it releases that doesn't serve the energy.
Are you saying breathe in and out through the same nostril, or breathe in through one and exhale through the other?
Correct. Breathe in through one, breathe out through the other. Breathe in through that other one, switch, breathe out. So each nostril breathes out and breathes in. Then you switch. Breathes out, breathes in. Then you switch. Breathe in.
Okay, thank you.
Very good exercise for sleep. That's the most powerful breathing exercise you could do for sleeping.
That's awesome. That is lovely. Yeah, Sharon has her hand up. Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, do you do ecstatic breath work?
I
Do you
don't.
do,
I've heard of ecstatic breath work.
right,
That's
I did it with Scott Schwenk and I still do it. I have the program.
yes.
In 21, I had a shift from that. That was just dynamite. It just, what happened was I had real serious fibromyalgia and I seemed to be in a different, like the awareness of what we really are came forward. It kind of broke. But I'm kind of interested in what you're doing because there's still chakras that I know. For instance, the root is still, for me, the awakening came in a crown and it went on its own. Yeah, it opened up on its own. I went to see this guy, Diedrich Warstuck, and it just opened up. And it's making its way down, but I can see I'm blocked on the, do you do work in the root at all?
Yes. Well, I in my teaching in one of the visual meditations, what I do is in the eighth chakra, I bring light down through the crown and it activates each energy center as I go down. And those energy centers are related to the spinal column. And it
Oh, that's
really
good. Yeah.
illumines your spinal column, that spinal cord. And it's very powerful. Another source is Corinne Zupko has a
Yeah, I took her program. I took it. Yeah, she did all the chakras.
On the clairs. She
Yeah.
explains that spinal column very well. It's right in alignment with Kundalini yoga and the spinal column. She
Yeah, but if
is,
you can do the whole thing, I love her. She's wonderful.
yes, yeah, me
The
too.
best. You know,
Yeah.
they're all, I mean, you sound wonderful too. What does the session cost?
I
Like,
beg your pardon?
what do you charge for like an hour? You
It's
know?
going to be free. I will be charging for consulting and coaching related to Kundalini yoga, but the entire course is free, both the beginners, intermediate, and advanced. When you
Oh,
go to my website, it says $95, but that's going to be changed. I have my virtual assistant make it as part of someone going in and taking the course, but
yeah.
all I ask is a love offering. I have a
Yeah.
donate button
I
for
mean, you
any.
know your stuff because like between what Corinne had offered and I took her course and then
Yeah.
and I still have the breath work. Breath work, ecstatic breath work is very powerful. But I also like the nostrils and wanting it because it really does help. I have like scoliosis now that I'm aging, I'm in my 70s
Mhm.
and it's severe right at the upper back. So maybe we can work with the chakras and I mean, if I pay, I would pay you. And what I want to do is just have the whole freak like everyone sitting here. We just want to be completely done with this stuff.
Yes.
With the jailer that's jailing us into prison. When we're not that,
Any
we're talking
type of
about the
breath
ego.
service. Thank you. Thank you. Any type of breath service that you do is so powerful.
Yeah, the breath is God. The breath
Yes. Yes.
the breath is the movement of the Tao. I call it the Tao.
Correct.
And the Tao is moving through us, and we are the Tao. We really aren't these people. you
Yeah.
know. So it's kind of like it's important to me, like as I'm aging, like I feel great since 21, that ecstatic course I took, and I still have it. I
Yeah.
actually offer to people like just my program because it's been a long time and I don't think he would care because it really helps. But you really have to go in with an open mind and not expect. Because
Yes.
as soon as we expect, we're blocking them. Because that's what happened in 21, the light. Like I am, I'm far from what I would consider done. I don't think we're ever done. But I do know I'm blocked still in the bottom, my feet and all of that. It's just interesting because it really happened by itself. You see that too. It seems like, the divine is just working through all of us. And it's just one mind, one light that's awakening. So it's kind of like, I just love the love that we get, and the food, that's just food. So I will be calling you.
Great. Great. And I will
And
be
thank you.
joyously answering that call. Uh,
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
All right. Well, you guys, I got to get going. I have another meeting coming up in about 15 minutes. I believe Chris does too.
I do.
Us is going to Glenn Hoverman's
Yes.
meeting.
Glenn's group.
Course of Love.
Yeah, the Course of Love meeting is in 15 minutes.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be making it tonight, but I want to hear everything.
That's all right, sweetie. You know what it's all about. So, all right, you guys. And I see Sandy is here in the room.
Come here.
Sandy, who's going to be our speaker tomorrow night. Sandy Levy Lundeen. Is that how you pronounce your name? And you'll be with us tomorrow night. And I'm very excited and interested to see what you have to say to us. So thank you for joining us, actually. And so
Yes,
grateful.
thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, you guys.
Thank you, Chris.
Namaste.
Thank you very much.
May
Mhm.
all you feel at peace and happy. Feel it
Amen.
now.
Thank you, darling. All
You're
right.
doing
See you
so.
tomorrow morning.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.